to get my dad a Father's Day gift. They were closed. I was coming back from the Wood and Nickel to get my dad a Father's Day gift. They were closed. It was Sunday. So I decided to turn back around and head home. It was about 103 degrees. I had 3 water bottles in my backpack, and I stopped right behind me, right by the sign, to take a sip. And then I turned around and there were 3 cop cars. And one of the officers already had a gun drawn at me. They asked me, was I inside the store? And I told them no. And then they asked me if I was sure. And I was like, yeah. I turned to another officer who was in front of me, Officer Vasquez. And I told him, I said, sir, what's going on? And then he was like, give me the backpack. And then I was like, do you have a warrant? And then he pointed behind me and he said, look. So I looked behind me and it was a big canine dog. And then I got scared, and then I was like, here, just take the backpack, just take the backpack. And then after that, he grabbed me by my wrist like this, and then he grabbed me by my neck, punched me, and then he threw me onto the ground, and then that's when the K9 came and started eating at my leg. They rolled me around. Officer Vasquez put his knee in my back, and I told him I couldn't breathe, and then he put his other knee in my head, and I told him I can't breathe, and then I started yelling out, somebody help me, they're gonna kill me. And then finally, he let me up, he tied my hands behind my back, and then he tied my feet together and he threw me in the back of the car. And on my way going back to the car, I heard somebody say, that's not the guy, that's not the guy.
Well, she actually called while she was in the hospital, and I thought she was joking because she was like, Mom, I'm in the hospital, the police beat me, and a dog bit me.
I was like, wow. I'm like, let me talk to the officer. And so the officer got on the phone, and I asked him what happened, and he told me that it was mistaken identity. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, you know, is she okay? And he was like, well, she's alive, and she's in the hospital.
My daughter is a very responsible young lady. She works, she loves life. There was no reason for this to happen to her.
They never told me why they stopped me, but after they beat me and threw me in the cop car, that's when they told me, explained that there was some guy with a machete that was inside the grocery store, and they were looking for him, and I matched the description.
She's not the same person since that happened. You know, I brought her here the other day because we were looking for the gentleman that even told the officers that that's not the guy, you know, and they still continue to beat her and have the dogs on her after he told them. They ran him back in the store.
I read the paper, my paperwork fell, and it said that I shoved an officer and I flipped him on his back.
They would say that my daughter attacked them. Come on, she's 5'2", 115 pounds soaking wet, and that she attacked a 200-pound man.
There were dogs and guns drawn on me. Like, I would never do anything like that.
Every day I have to change her bandages, and I see the injuries that she has. It's really hard for me. On
Monday, we kind of did our own little investigation. We came to the store, spoke with the manager. He told me that the police had actually caught the guy that had the machetes. And that's what's a shame. I don't know for sure, but the guy probably didn't have a scratch on him.
He still tried to handcuff me and flip me over while the dog was still biting me, and I'm yelling out like, I didn't do anything, I'm a female, like, why are you doing this to me?
Why should my daughter be charged with a crime? All she did was stop to drink some water because it was 100 and something degrees. That's ridiculous.
We gotta find a way not to let this kind of thing happen ever, ever. If a kid can't stop on a bicycle and take a drink of water just to take a break.
She was coming home to celebrate Father's Day with me. It's not right. It's not right.
Cops mistake small teen girl for large adult male, beat and sick canine on her. Grossly incompetent California police mistook a teen girl for a large black male armed with a machete, beat and arrested her for no reason. By John Vibes, July 13, 2017. Bakersfield, CA, Tatiana Hargrove, 19, was recently assaulted by police because she was mistaken for a large man who was seen carrying a machete. Hargrove in no way matched the description of the criminal that the police were after, but they singled her out anyway, as she made her way home from a local store. According to Hargrove, on June 18 she had walked to the nearby Wooden Nickel Trading Company on Ming Avenue to buy her father a present for Father's Day. However, she found that the store was closed when she arrived. Hargrove decided to go back home, but on her way, she stopped for a drink from her water bottle since it was a very hot day. That was when police swarmed around her with guns drawn, asking her what was in her bag. When she asked them why they wanted to search her and demanded a warrant, they became aggressive and threatened her with a dog. She handed over the bag, which had nothing illegal in it, and yet the police punched her in the mouth, allowed the police dog to bite her, and then arrested her. Hargrove told reporters, "He put his other knee on my head, and I told him, I can't breathe, and I started yelling out, somebody help me, they're going to kill me." Advertisement. To make matters worse, after cops beat her and allowed their dog to maul her, she was charged with suspicion of resisting or delaying an officer and aggravated assault on an officer. Read more. On-duty cop passes out while snorting Xanax in police cruiser and crashes into middle school. However, in a phone call with the family, the police admitted that this was a case of mistaken identity. Additionally, arresting officer Christopher Moore said in the police report that he didn't know Hargrove was a woman until after he had arrested her. The person who police were actually after that day was a man named Douglas Washington. Washington was described as a bald man who was nearly 6 feet and 170 pounds. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, dark jeans, and a pink or red backpack. The man was reportedly wielding a machete and threatening several people in the same area of the store that Hargrove had visited. Conversely, Hargrove is a young female that is just over 5 feet and roughly 115 pounds. She was wearing a white shirt, blue jean shorts and a black hat with a red backpack. She appeared to be a male and matched the description of the suspect that had brandished the machete and was also within the same complex the suspect had fled to, Moore said in the police report. Moore went on to claim that she attempted to flee and push the police. Moore claimed that he believed the whole time that she had a machete in her book bag, which is why he said he believed he was justified in using such an excessive show of force. The Bakersfield police have refused to make a formal statement on the incident. However, BPD Sergeant Ryan Croker did tell reporters that criminal charges have been filed against Hargrove and that they don't believe that the officers used excessive force. The department will not even be launching an internal investigation into the actions of the officers involved. Read more. Disturbing video shows cops tie man to chair, beat him until he goes unconscious and blind. NAACP Bakersfield Chapter President Patrick Jackson made a statement on behalf of Hargrove saying that the family believes she was wrongly targeted and should not have any charges against her. It's becoming more and more of a pattern. She's never been in trouble before, and all of a sudden you're a heinous criminal in 2 seconds, Jackson said.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me, and I'm sick of it. So I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea, too, that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.